Shalom, everyone, and welcome to today's prayer and scripture with Ayaba. Hear now and do, Yasharel. Yahuwah, our Elohim, Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all yourself. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself. In the name of Yahusha HaMashiach. Blessed are you, Yahuwah, of the armies, creator of the heavens and the earth, the Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, our Elohim, the Kodesh one of Yasharel, my El and my Yeshua, for giving us the spirit of unity in Yahuwah. Our scripture reading is Daniel chapter 6, and it reads as follows. It pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents, of whom Daniel was first, that the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes, because an excellent Ruach was in him. And the king thought to set him over the whole realm. Then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against this Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the Torah of his Eloah. Then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king, and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains, have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any Eloah or man for 30 days, save of you, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. Now, O king, establish the decree, and sign the writing, that it be not changed, according to the law of the Madai and Persians, which alters not. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his Eloah, as he did aforetime. Then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his Eloah. Then they came near and spoke before the king concerning the king's decree. Have you not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any Eloah or man within 30 days, save of you, O king, shall be cast into the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of the Madai and Persians, which alters not. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Yehuda, regards not you, O king, nor the decree that you have signed, but makes his petition 3 times a day. Then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, Now, O king, that the law of the Madai and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king establishes may be changed. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spoke and said unto Daniel, Your Eloah, whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den, and the king sealed it with his own signet, and with the signet of his princes, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. Neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Then the king arose very early in the morning, and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spoke and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living Eloah, is your Eloah, whom you serve continually, able to deliver you from the lions? Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. My Eloah has sent his angel, and has shut the lions' mouths. They have not hurt me, that they have not hurt me. For as much as before him innocency was found in me, and also before you, O king, have I done no hurt. Then was the king exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his Eloah. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which had accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions, them, their children, and their women, and the lions had the mastery of them, and broke all their bones in pieces before they came at the bottom of the den. Then King Darius, wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the Eloah of Daniel, for he is the living Eloah, and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Koresh the Persian, consistent in prayer daily. The verse that I want to put emphasis on is verse 10 of chapter 6. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his Eloah as he did aforetime. What an example for all of us. What an example Daniel left for us about being consistent in prayer daily. It says, when he knew that the writing was signed, the decree that was being made that no one should petition their Elohim or any Elohim other than the king. He went right into his chamber. His windows were open. He prayed toward Jerusalem or Jerusalem, and he got down on his knees and prayed 3 times a day, gave thanks like he always did. That's what he was doing before. This was his lifestyle. Just because he knew what the circumstances was, he knew that he was going to be thrown into the lion's den, he didn't allow his circumstances to deter him from being consistent in prayer. He prayed and he gave thanks. That's how we have to be. No matter what our situation is, no matter what our circumstance is, we need to be consistent in prayer daily. We can't allow what may happen to us, how people are treating us, how people are viewing us. See, these people were jealous of Daniel's lifestyle. They could not find fault with him. They couldn't find fault with him, so they used this, the fact that he was praying every day, got the king to write a decree that if anybody else, anybody in the kingdom, would pray or make a petition to anybody else other than the king for 30 days. You notice they didn't have it for a long period of time, just 30 days. That they would be thrown into the lion's den. And this is the other thing that really, really stuck out to me. That when they found him, he was praying. Okay? He was praying. He didn't change. They went back and told the king, we found him praying. He's still praying 3 times a day. It really displeased the king because he preferred Daniel over everybody else. And so they kept reminding him that, remember that once you make a decree, you can't change it. And so the other part that got me is when the king said this in verse 16. Then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spoke and said unto Daniel, your Eloah, whom you serve continually, he will deliver you. He was speaking deliverance over Daniel. I thought, wow. He looked at the consistency of Daniel. He looked at his life. There was no fault found in him. Okay? So then he came in agreement with Daniel for his deliverance. Now that's awesome. Are we living our lives in such a way that when people look at us, they can say, man, they live their lives with integrity, with character? Do people know us as people of prayer? You got to ask yourself that question, because that's how Daniel was known. There was no fault found in him. So they used him praying consistently against him. And after the king said that and spoke, Daniel's deliverance, and they put a stone, over the den. He sealed it with his own signet. He sealed it with the signet of those princes that brought the accusation against Daniel. And then it says in verse 18, then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting. He went and started fasting on behalf of Daniel. This is awesome, everybody. Okay? He said, neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. He didn't go to sleep. He fasted. He didn't have anybody playing any music. He didn't go to sleep. And then the first thing that he did when he rose up early in the morning, he went down to that lion's den and he cried out to him in a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spoke and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living Eloah is your Eloah, whom you serve continually, able to deliver you from the lions. Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. Okay, this is really, really awesome. Do people look at your life and see what the Most High Yah is doing on your behalf, how he is delivering you, how he is working things out on your behalf because you are consistent in prayer daily, because you are living your life with character and integrity, and you obey the commandments of the Most High Yah, no matter what. This is how we've got to live our lives, to the point where people will want to come in agreement with what we're doing. And then, the king, through not only the people who, the princes and the presidents and the people that brought accusation against Daniel into the lion's den, but their wives and their children. And before they even hit the bottom of the den, they were, devoured by those lions. And then the king made another decree. He said, I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom, men tremble and fear before the Eloah of Daniel, for he is the living Eloah and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivers and rescues, and he works signs and wonders in heaven and in earth, who has delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. So this Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Koresh the Persian. That's awesome. Daniel lived his life in such a way that the king came in agreement and joined with him and said, if you live in this kingdom, you're going to fear the Elohim of Daniel, because this is who he is. He does signs, he does wonders, he rescues, he delivers. This is how we've got to live our lives, everyone. We've got to learn to be consistent in prayer daily. People have to know us as people of prayer. This is something that we have to change about our reputation as the people of Yah. We have to make sure that we are being consistent in prayer daily, and that we're not allowing our situation or our circumstances or what other people may think or feel about us pull us away from being consistent in prayer. Prayer changed Daniel's situation and his circumstance. And because he was consistent, because he was obedient, the Most High Yah sent an angel and delivered him. He was not hurt. Nothing went wrong with him in that lion's den. That is awesome. That's how we have to be. Consistent in prayer, daily, no matter what. No matter what's going on in our lives, no matter what the situation, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what people may be thinking about us, we got to be consistent in prayer. And we have to live lives of set apart character and integrity, so that we're known as people who do the right thing, no matter what, even when it's not popular with everybody else. We have to do what is right in the eyesight of the Most High Yah. Make prayer, consistency in prayer, part of your daily lifestyle. It will change your life, and it will change your circumstances. I speak life to you, health, healing, wholeness, protection, Yah's protection, and deliverance over your lives. Much love and blessings to each and every one of you. And with that, I will leave you with Shalom.